The shared content is on your screen.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Akansha?
I think her audio is switched off. She's on mute. Clear.
Hi, everyone. Can I just have your audio once to check how many people are there? Hello, Anudeep, can you hear me? Sushil?
Yes,
Yeah,
Amrit,
Amrit.
everyone can hear you.
Oh, yeah. Now I can hear you. Is my voice coming out clear?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
voice is clear.
Okay, hi. Can we start now?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so basically it's about, this session is about COVID-19 and how we can, and I possibly think it's a great opportunity instead of, actually, I'm sure that a lot of people have been talking about COVID in a negative way or in a scary way. But for business, it is a good time because you have got eyeballs sitting there at home and they're actually trying to kill their time. So this is the right time to reach out to them when they're digitally online. And so basic way of reaching out would be the communication part of it. If you have specific questions, it's an interactive session. Just pause, stop. Let me ask me questions when you can. So can you get my screen right now?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay, so it's my screen that's important. You can. So we started. It's all about 36 now. So can you just give a bit of introduction as to why you guys are on this session? Is there anything specific that you're looking for? And I can address those things while as we go along. Hello. Akansha, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear your voice.
Okay. So I guess everybody can hear my voice. So I'll just start straight away. It would have been nice if I knew why people are here, what is they looking for, so that I can actually uh, share more accordingly with insights and examples.
Amrit, it would be better if you pick up names and then probably ask them.
Okay. So can we start with let me see what are people. So I've got Anudeep Singh. So Anudeep Singh, could you just interact as to what you do and what is it that you're looking from this session? Chandrakant, anybody? Rakesh?
One is there, Amit Chandak. He need to go
Yeah.
ahead with branding of his product and free to launch.
Okay. So Amit, what do you do? So let me start because so people can ask questions whenever they want to. So as you all know, we have already started this journey into COVID, and I think what we should first concentrate on is the post recovery phase, because that's also a reality that's going to happen. Uh, why do you think it? So just the basics about marketing, I'm sure you guys already know about it. Just because it's a branding marketing sort of an exercise, I'm just starting with why is it important. So A, we all know that we have to build perception of the brand, build the character, the persona, and also the core values team members have to know about it. These are basic stuff. But the problem is that most of these entrepreneurs and brand managers, they really don't take this seriously beyond the point, because it becomes it becomes so everyday. It's like your dal chawal. You stop taking it seriously, and I think business, obviously the profit and loss balance sheet takes more importance while you are at work, and sometimes these things get neglected, and that's why big corporates spend a lot of money, keep doing these experiments on brand exposure, rebranding, replacing their own brand. So every launch, every rebranding is not just a label, but it's also about the core communication, reach out to your target audiences, ensuring that your current target audiences are in place. And therefore, I think this is a very important time, because uh, your brand is always connect. Yeah, please. Somebody wanted to say something. Okay, I'll continue. So your brand is your main, so you can understand, so what is a brand is like a person. I think it's easier explained that way. It's like a person. It's like you, your child. It's like a child. It needs to be nurtured. First you nurture the brand. It's like and then it's also about giving character to your brand. It's about telling people whether your brand is intelligent, smart, good at school, good at co-curricular activities. Is he outgoing? Is he or she outgoing? Are they introverts, extroverts? What are the positive points? Trying not to obviously highlight on the negative ones, but definitely not hiding it, because a brand always, like a person has, we have negative insights, we also have positive insights. We should work on the negatives as well as own on the positive sides of it. So when you look at a brand as your own child, I think that is where you will start understanding how critical it is to establish the right character, the right perception. That's why that word perception comes from. And that is how, so you have to ask yourself first, how do you want your customer to look at your child? From that perspective, as a brand perspective, how do you want them to? And that is where you will take extra care to establish their identity, to ensure that they are put on the best stage, given the best platform. And because otherwise if you don't have a brand, so what happens when you don't have a brand identity? You are actually hard selling your product. But when you have a brand, it is understood that coming from this brand or coming from this company means that it has these core values. It has this basic minimum promise that a product will hold or a brand will hold. And that is when your selling goes easier. So it's a very long-term thing. It's not like daily day-to-day selling, but it's about keeping that connect, that soul alive. And that is why it's very important. So if you look at the recent activations that were done by a lot of these companies, so why now? A lot of these companies have been pumping in money trying to reinforce their own brands during this pandemic. Why is that so? So they're trying to establish that they care for the people. They're doing good work. Not that I'm not saying that they're trying to actually make marketing gimmicks out of it. They genuinely are serving whoever can. So Oyo have shared their rooms to their medicos. Even Taj, I remember Taj sharing the hotels with the medico teams. Ola have been sharing their cars free of cost to the medicos to transport them from hotels or homes or wherever back to the hotels. Just a few things that come to my mind. I think PhonePe is one brand, the wallet brand. They tied up with an insurance company to start COVID insurance policies for the poor at about 153 or 56 rupees per person. And it gives you a coverage of 50,000. So if you look at it, yes, they're doing good for the society, but that's also an opportunity where they picked up from. So imagine 153 rupees is really not too much for a person who is a rickshawala or a chai wala, and giving him that assurance that he would be able to cover his medical fees just in case. That's what insurance is for. So it's taking those bigger regular annual licenses of insurances and breaking it into smaller packets, giving it to the people who would have never otherwise thought about medical insurance. And this is the need of the hour. Then you have got even Rev Cars did something like that, where they're trying to actually give out their vehicles to transport. So there are all of these companies that you actually can think of. And just to come to think of it, Paytm. Yes, Paytm tied up with McDonald's. And it seems very weird why Paytm and McDonald's. So maybe Paytm reached out with a lot of these food delivery companies, and Paytm actually found McDonald's as a partner. And they're actually delivering food to these frontline medicos. They're not, you wouldn't know of it because they're not advertising. I don't know if they're advertising or not. There are small news that keep popping up here and there. But please understand, when your brand gets advertised through a news column compared to an advertisement, it has 10x the value. So it's always important that you keep that hygiene in place. You keep your brand perception, your brand positioning in place. And it always is goodwill that drives your product, not your advertisements or how hard you sell your product. So that is why I think this is important, because right now, people's perceptions are changing. They're scared right now. They don't know what to do. They are online. They're waiting to at least know what's happening around, because fear is the only thing that drives people to figure out what's happening around you. It's a community herd feeling. So they are online. They're watching TV. This is the time when you can actually tell them that you care for them. And this is also a time offline, need not be advertising. Why don't you just pick up your phone call and start calling up your prospects, your partners, and just ask them if they are okay or fine or not. And that's where they will realize that there is a bonding, and this is the relationship, the human one-to-one relationship is what takes your brand to the next level. It will help you understand better. And that's why I wanted people to also keep this entire session interactive, so that I can understand what your pain points are and can address them as we go forward, rather than me just giving a lecture on branding.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sir. I am Nishant. From Kerala, from Cochin.
Hi, Nishant.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. Sir, actually, currently, we are running a retail company. So that's,
Okay.
we are selling different kinds of chips, banana chips, beetroot, those kind of chips we are selling. We are selling through our own showrooms. Okay.
Through old shops?
Through own showrooms, our,
Okay,
EBOs.
okay.
So our brand name is Yellow Chips.
So
Hello,
is there
I
a
hope.
problem that you're facing right now? There is a connectivity break.
Yes, sir, actually, whether you can listen now, is it okay?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Okay. Sir, actually, what happened? Actually, we are looking for some kind of opportunity in out of Kerala.
Okay, so you want to expand your business beyond Kerala at this point of time. You do banana chips.
Yeah, exactly. Banana chips and variety of chips is what we are selling.
Right. And what is the branding exercise that you have done till now? Do you have a logo? Do you have your presence in your local area?
We have logo and we have our brand name. Actually, we register our brand name also.
But can people understand that you sell banana chips by looking at your logo or your brand name? Is it established to that extent in Kerala?
Yeah, sir. Because sir, our brand name also related to our banana chips, because usually people are saying chips means that's yellow chips.
Yeah.
Okay. Our brand name is also yellow chips. That's the brand name. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that's why actually our website is yellowchips.in. That's our website name.
Okay.
Currently,
Okay, so you already reached out to these states or locations. Ideally, what you should do is right.
Yeah.
So ideally, you should. That's how you should do one at a time. You should go and establish, and also communicate and establish that brand, because it's not about going national. Big players can do that. Not every player can do that. It's about, I think most of them, most of the viewers here is also on that same platform where you have this cash crunch limitations and you don't know how much to spend, how many parts to go. So ideally, you should assess your market, how many. So your first step should be how much can you establish in terms of delivering. So logistics have to be in place. Your content has to be in place. So if you can deliver, say, 10,000 packets extra beyond your Kerala state, you should then identify which is the closest location for banana chips. So I don't know if Gujarat is the right place, because Gujarat is completely extreme in terms of taste preferences. So you should first try looking where else would a person look for taste, which is banana. So maybe it's a novelty item. Like in India, Chinese food is a novelty item, and that's why Chinese, no matter good or bad, these restaurants actually sell. So that novelty can come because potato chips, especially from South India. So you should ideally brand it as potato chips from South India or original potato chips, right? Because the entire country knows about potato chips and it comes from South India. But if you can use that as a key character to establish that it's coming from Kerala, or it is genuine, or it is coming from the real makers of it, that is when you'll get that mileage. So Gujarat, I'm not sure, because people would experiment or not, but in other states you definitely can, and that is
currently. So actually, what we feel that Gujarat is ideal place for us, because we launched about 6 to 7 months back. So we got a good response from there, because actually a lot of Malayalis are residing there. So
okay, because there is a requirement there. Fair enough. So that is why I think it is important. Yeah. So it is important that you first assess your market. So I don't know if digital is going to really help you, or there are platforms. There are also, so all these platforms are there. Initially, when you used to have these research agencies actually to figure out whether there is a market, real market in the real scope of that area, geographical area. And that is when they decide, okay, we'll go to Gujarat, we'll go to Delhi next, and that plan. So that logistics have to be in place, and that is how you reach.
Okay, sir.
So how long have you been passing on to Gujarat?
So Gujarat, around 8 months back, actually we launched there.
And is it up to your expectations?
Yeah, sir. Actually, currently actually we are selling through one or two persons only, because they are basically from Kerala. So we are planning to make a distribution trip in Gujarat for the to cover entire Gujarat, that we are planning currently.
Right.
And through distribution, we are selling the items in Gujarat. But in future, we are planning to open our own showroom. So just we want to see how.
Okay, your voice is breaking, but I can understand that you are wanting to do a franchisee sort of setup right now, because you don't want to expand too much. I think that's a good idea, because you don't have to invest at this point of time and really expand and take that risk. Maybe you can follow that franchisee model, because what happens is when you invest on your own store, you need to have that kind of a bandwidth in terms of sales rep response. But when you have a franchisee, I'm sure that's another
Yeah.
business model for the rest of the people who are here. What you can actually do is open franchises, open to selling people, and you can be a multi-franchisee. So if I have a shop, I can reach out to all these FMCG companies and say, hey, I have a shop. Would you like to make me a franchisee? And that is how every business is going to now evolve going further, where you actually have one shop which will sell 20 specific products. So when you go to a grocery store, you have every kind of stock, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is another business model that I'm sure you will also find out. There would be people, because anything that I'm talking is nothing original. So there would be people, you just have to find out people who are those people who are willing to do franchisee to 10 brands. If you have 10 brands and your product is segregated, so if it is food packages, so somebody could be selling chips, and you just have to ensure that nobody else enters into your specific zone of chips, and there
Yes,
you
sir.
are. That will fall cheaper, and it works for
Yeah,
everyone
sir.
else.
Actually, I was working with different brands for 10 years, 10, 12 years in retail. So then only I came to this venture. So that's why actually I was into franchisee business earlier. I was looking after the companies, for some international brands in the state. So I got some of the experience, in my own area. Then I came to this business. So in future only, I'm planning to make different kinds of franchise in different states in India.
Right.
Sir, is it possible? Is it possible to actually? What do you think is given to master franchisee to particular, in a state, or giving different franchises? So if you're given the master franchisee, he can make a different, many outlets there. Otherwise, we have to find a single franchises in every main cities.
No, ideally you should focus on one zone only. And if you have chosen Gujarat because there is a market, you have to establish your entire space within that. So it can be city-wise, slowly spread within that zone, and establish each player to take care, a Keralite or somebody else to re-emphasize on your brand. So you should be sticking core to your dress code, your personality, your ethics, and then ensure that Kerala is reflected on each of your stores, in each of your products, in each of the people who speak. I think that is how you have to establish yourself, because you have to stick saying that potato chips original from Kerala. So we are the original ones who are there.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
And if there are more questions, we can take up later. So there are a lot of people. So I just quickly like to address everyone's issues as they come along. So please feel free to interrupt me wherever you want. So basically, we understood that this is the right time, and this is the right time. Why? Of course, because everybody is there. I'm just going back to the next slide. Right. So you have to make daily conversations with all of these
Amrit,
people.
one question from one member, that how do you arrive at the right brand value in terms of price?
Right.
Just
Your voice is breaking.
how do you arrive at the right brand value in terms of price?
Okay, brand value and price are two different things. One, it's a brand promise. So similarly, you want to make a product which is the best in the industry, because obviously that is what sells. B is you have to offer discounts at the initial stages, and that's where testing comes in. So you always have these testing phases where you, I remember many years back, I used to stand on a table and actually sample these margarine. Margarine was a new thing. This was when about 1994, 1993. So margarine was never heard of before, and they wanted to replace butter because at that point of time it was supposed to be better than butter. So we used to have these tables, and we used to make people come around and used to stand on the tables in front of these markets, and we used to make them taste them, explaining to them whether it tastes. So nobody is going to touch margarine if they don't know what it is. So you have to make them taste it. They taste a spoon, you have to give them a biscuit, they try it out, and then you ask them whether it's better or not on the product. So there are two things happening here. One, you're understanding the customer behavior, which is documented. Today it's digital, so it's even more easier. You can have a tab there where they can just feed in their inputs. You are creating a database for yourself in today's world, where they're putting in their Facebook, follow, Instagram, or whatever you want to, and see you are. Hello, and see, you would understand what their instant response is. So you can accordingly build your entire structure, delivery logistical structure. So you know whether this product is going to, and initially it has to be always at lower prices, discount prices, cost, no profit, no loss sort of a scenario. And also depends whether it is picking up or not. So if it's picking up, obviously you will. So it's a long-term investment. No company ever wants that they would earn profits in the first circle or first quarter or first annual cycle.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, but your voice is breaking. Hi.
Yeah, hi Amrit. This is Umakant here. We are into doorstep car care services. So
Okay.
right now we are in Aurangabad as of now. It's mycleancar.in. So my question is, we have started in last year around August, and we have spent a bit of some small amount in branding in Aurangabad. So my question is, since last 2 months it's been lockdown in this place, and our operations are completely at halt. So my question is, what are the things that we can do during this lockdown to keep reminding people about the brand?
Good, very good question. And this is something that I wanted to address to every one of you. So why is it, so obviously I've established why is this time important and why is it so critical, and how best you can make use of this entire exercise. So you are into car, right? And now think, so everybody is trying to push out information on medical, sanitizers, health, food, what is, in fact, we made a bunch of these Instagram posts last night saying what is allowed in what sort of a zone. So these are things people will lap up. They would want to understand, and we are actually not sharing, we are not promoting our product saying that we are into marketing. We are just telling people green zone means you can actually send your child outside, or an orange zone means you cannot order food, or red zone means you are not allowed to, right? These sort of information need to be going out, and everybody is doing it, no big deal. From your specific perspective, you say you are a car door footstep mat, right?
Yeah, car care services, doorstep car care services.
So you actually take care of the cars services in?
Yeah, car cleaning, car coating, polishing, sanitization, then battery services.
Okay, I get it.
AC services.
I get it. So what is important right now is, please understand, you have to now ensure that you are a great brand. You look beyond that basic selling of your product, as in saying, sir, give me 100 rupees, I will recharge your battery. So this is the great time to reach out to all your customers. If you already have internet connectivity, which would mean social handles, reach out to them and tell them their car has been parked for the last 6 months at one spot, right? And you being a specialist, you would know that the car needs to be the rubber point where the car is touching the floor. The tires get damaged, they break. So it needs to be moved every 1 week, 1 feet ahead, half feet backwards. And it cannot rest on the same point. B, the car needs to be started at least once in every 10 days for 5 minutes. Nobody is doing that because everybody is worried about sitting at home. Khana kahan se milega? You don't know what. So these are the things that you should reach out to. So make Instagram posts saying that, boss, you have to start your car. If you have not done it, you can send reminders that every Saturday we will remind you to go downstairs or outside and start your cars idle for 10 minutes or whatever that actual terminology is. Shift the gears so that the mechanical, and then people will they will really appreciate your concern for their cars. They will come back to you even if you charge 50 rupees more next time. I hope that addresses the question to every one of you. So you all have your own specific areas where you specialize on. Make use of that. How is that impacting or not impacting the people? So car, yes, you have a problem. Dettol and everybody else is doing the same thing. They're telling people how to wash hands. So you have to innovate in your space and be different. So nobody's talking about cars today. I don't know. I have not seen any brand actually push out such communication. So that is where you need to focus on, each of you guys. So if you are into a flat, you have to tell people, find out on the internet or find a doctor, consult a doctor. And it really doesn't take too much of time. We are all connected. So you just have to connect on a doctor on the phone, your local doctor, if maybe. We don't know whether a mosquito can on its legs, carry the coronavirus and come inside the window. So if you are a real estate person, you can actually advise red zone people to keep the window shut. I don't know, but specify, micro analyze the problem, because we are getting information about coronavirus all over the place. But there are lots of other details that so if you're a vegetable vendor or you're a chip vendor, I think you can just tell people how to wash vegetables. A lot of people are washing vegetables with soap water, which is very dangerous. People are doing it because they think soap is a good thing. It kills the virus. So in fact, even the president of the US recently quoted something very stupid. So we need to micro specialize into areas where this virus is actually affecting us and build that relationship from there. That trust factor is very important. And that's why one of my favorite taglines is Wipro, trust. That's it. Trust is everything that takes your brand forward and that relationship forward. Can I just go a few slides so there will be more questions that will just pop up into your
Amrit,
brains?
one question is there from a member, which is the cheapest and fastest way to brand a product presently? And how important is the packaging to reflect the product brand?
Packaging does not play any role because you cannot actually go out and put stickers on your products, whether you're selling or not at this point of time. Going forward, adding labels to it really doesn't make a difference unless you actually relate to that product. So had I just reached out to you once saying, hello, I'm Amrit from XYZ company, and I would like to help you, you will not take me seriously. If I'm on a platform, maybe you'll take me more seriously. And that is how a relationship works. Beyond that, you've already established that connect with your target audience. You're already selling, right? Now, how do you enhance or keep that? It's the relationship that has to be established. You need to reach out to them, communicating and giving them that assurance that you are there for whatever services. Like initially I told about Oyo, Taj Hotels, Ola, they're all giving reassurances. They're doing some things for free for the society, but more than marketing or branding, it's about that reassurance of a brand that they stand by the society. And this is going to be a big payback from each of these brands. Trust me. Can I proceed?
Yeah, sure. And also just
So
wanted to inform that only to another
oh
call.
God.
So you can proceed.
So if you have issues, you can always connect with me. My phone number. So this completely just says nothing and everything. You're locked down, you're stuck, and don't worry, we are the key. And that is where I picked up the logo for this slide as well. I picked this as a theme because the lock actually, it's how you look at it. There is a lock, but every lock has a keyhole. And through that keyhole, you can peep into everybody's, the marketing strategies that need to be there. You need to understand how to look into the keyhole to understand your target audience and then build that brand from there on. It's an opportunity. So that's why I really like this keyhole. I picked that idea from Gophers. So I'll just go to the next slide. See here again, they're showing a door, Fevicol. And these big brands, if you look at it, they look at very stupid, simple stuff. Why? Because it's ultimately the basic communication that touches your heart. It's not a wow logo. It's not a wow product. It's never about a wow campaign or you're pushing out marketing. And a lot of people spend a lot of, I'd want to speak something about that, not spending too much of money on social media. Durex came up with this. I don't know if you guys have seen these interesting campaigns on Instagram. I just picked up a few. They're all over the place, social media. This is from the insurance company. So everybody is trying to connect themselves with lockdown to establish that brand connect with their customers. So I personally think Instagram is a great way to go forward because a lot of these millennials are there at this point of time. And it's a creative way. So you should not invade into that space trying to push saying that buy my product, but you just have